friends, welcome to Yoga with Jennifer. Today is International Yoga Day and we'll be going through a short flow that you can use to celebrate this day. So today we'll be starting with a modified version of Sun Salutation A. And so we'll be starting at the top of our mat, standing in what is called mountain pose. On an inhale, you'll sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold all the way down, fingers touching the mat or as close as you can get. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins, flat back. Exhale, hands back down all the way to the mat. If you need to bend your knees, that's okay. On your inhale, you're going to step back into plank, lower all the way through, and push up into cobra. Then you'll curl your toes under, send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. You can take a breath here, and then we will, on your next inhale, bring your right leg up and overhead, step it through into a runner's lunge. Take one more breath here, bring your left foot forward to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale all the way down. Step back into plank. Lower all the way down into cobra. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, bring your left leg this time up in the air. Step through, runner's lunge. Bring your right foot to meet your left into forward fold. Inhale, arms up and overhead. You can move at your own pace this time, doing the right side and then the left side. This will be the last round through, so make sure you are even on your legs. Whatever you did on the right, do with the left. Once you've completed, arms circle overhead, hands to heart center. All right, so now we're gonna do some chair yoga. For chair yoga, you want a chair that does not have wheels, that's not gonna move when you lean on it or when you move around. So just any sort of chair that has stable legs that you're not gonna just start sliding across the floor in. So we're gonna start seated on our chair. The first thing we're gonna do with chair yoga is just some neck circles. So you're gonna drop your chin to your chest, slowly circle towards the right, all the way around. Do this a few times. If there's anywhere in particular that feels a little tense, you can hold there a little longer. Next time you're at the center, switch directions. Go towards the left and around. When you're even, just return to sitting normally in the chair. One of the things that happens when we sit at our desk all day is that we're kind of hunched forward. So we're going to do some shoulder circles backwards. So you're going to lift your shoulders up towards your ears and drop them down the back. Lift up and towards the back. All right, so when you're feeling pretty good with that, we're going to move into some more yoga poses in the chair. So we're going to start with our hands on our knees or on our thighs. We're going to do cat-cow pose in a seated position. So this is where you're curving your spine forward and back. So you're going to curve looking down towards your legs, and then stretch through the chest, look up towards the ceiling. Curl through the spine on an exhale. Inhale, look up towards the ceiling. Bending and flexing through the spine the entire time. Two more here. Return to center. We're going to lift our arms up and overhead. If your chair has arms, you can grab onto one of the arms. If it doesn't, just bring your right hand down towards the bottom of the chair and then stretch up through the left side and bend towards the right. Stretch through that side, breathing deeply the whole time. Your next inhale, bring the right hand up to meet the left. Left hand down to that armrest or the bottom of the chair. Stretch up through the right side and bend over. On your next inhale, bring the left hand up to meet the right. Both hands can come back down. So we're going to be twisting again. If you have an armrest, you can grab onto that armrest. If you don't have an armrest, you can grab onto your leg or the chair, whatever's most comfortable for you. So we're going to straighten through our spine, twist towards the right. Your left hand can come to your leg, the armrest, the chair, whatever is comfortable. Your right hand can come to the back of the chair behind you to help twist a little bit. You can go as deep as you want, so you can look straight towards the right side. You can twist further behind you and look over your shoulder, whatever is comfortable. Untwist towards center. Same thing on the other side. Your right hand will come to the armrest, your leg, or the chair, and your left hand will come behind you. Make sure you straighten through your spine so that you're protecting your spine as much as possible. Again, you can look straight towards the left or over your shoulder behind you. Untwist, return to center. So you're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee. You want to flex through your right foot to help protect your ankle and your knee as much as possible. So if this is enough for you, it is for a lot of us. We can just stay right here. If you need a little bit more stretch through the leg here, through the hip too, you can lean forward over your leg. Keep your spine as straight as possible. You can look down or straight ahead, whatever is most comfortable. On your next breath, straighten through the spine if you are leaning forward. Unwind your legs, return your right foot to the floor. We're going to do the left side. It's okay if these sides feel different, if you can do different things on them. So you'll bring your left ankle over your right knee, flex through that foot. If you're feeling a stretch through the leg and the hip here, great. If not, you can start to slowly fold forward a little bit over it, looking straight ahead or down at the floor, whatever is easiest for you. Don't forget to breathe here. On your next breath, straighten through your spine, unwind your legs, return both feet to the floor. All right, so now we're gonna be moving into some standing poses, but keeping our chair with us. So you're going to stand right next to the chair. We're going to be doing triangle pose, but using our chair as a prop. If you've gone to a yoga class in person before, you've probably done this all the way down to the floor or with a block, but this just helps bring the ground up a little bit higher. So you're gonna start with your legs kind of in a triangle. So you can see my legs here in a triangle. So your left leg will be towards the chair with your feet pointing towards that chair. The right leg will be along the mat. You're going to put your arms out in a T shape, bend forward over that left leg and tilt down so that your left hand is on the chair. Your right hand can come up at an angle above your head. Strengthen through your core and bring yourself back up into standing. Your arms can come down. I'm going to move to the other side of the chair and we'll do the other side. So on this side, your left leg will be along the mat and your right toes will be pointed forward towards the chair, your legs in a triangle position. You're going to bring your arms up into a T position, lean forward towards that right side, tilting forward so that your right hand comes to the chair. Your left arm is up overhead. Strengthen through your core, bring yourself back up into standing. All right, so this next one we're going to do tree pose. It's a balancing pose. It's really important that you're not using a chair with wheels, otherwise you will fall over. So you're going to be grabbing onto the back of the chair with one hand. I'm going to be using my right hand right now. You're going to be planting your right leg into the floor, bringing your left leg onto toes, either on your ankle, your calf, or all the way up on your inner thigh. Whatever you're able to do is totally fine. Your other arm, your left arm in this case, will come up and overhead, and we're balancing on our right leg. The chair is here for balance and to just help provide a little bit more stability. Make sure you're standing up tall through the spine. Your next inhale, bring your arm back down, lower your left leg to the floor. We're going to do the other side. So on this side, your left hand will be on the chair, your left leg will be on the ground, and you will bring your right toes either onto the ankle with the toes still on the ground, the calf, or the inner thigh. Just make sure you're not putting pressure on your knee here. Your right arm will come up and overhead, and you'll be balancing in tree pose. Make sure you're strengthening through your spine, using that chair for support. On your next inhale, bring your arm back down, lower your right leg to the floor. So now we're done with chair yoga, we're going to move back into some more traditional yoga poses. So you're going to be seated on the floor. This pose is called easy pose, so we're going to start in easy pose. We're going to bring our arms up and overhead on an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to twist just like we were doing on the chair. So your left hand will come to your right knee, your right hand behind you, looking over towards the right or behind you. Inhale, untwist, return to center. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale and twist towards the left. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you, looking towards the left or behind you over your shoulder. Inhale, untwist, return to center. You're going to have one leg out in front of you, and then we'll move into a different twist here. So I'm going to have my right leg out in front of me. My left leg will come up, foot planted on the floor. For some of us, this might be enough. We'll be twisting towards the left here. If this is not going to be enough for you, if you know you have a little bit more flexibility, you can cross your left leg over your right so it's on the outside of the right leg. You're going to strengthen through your spine, and you're going to wrap your right arm around your left knee, twist over towards that left side. On your next inhale, untwist through your spine, untwist through your legs if you had crossed your legs. Extend the left leg straight, bring the right leg so the foot is planted on the floor. You can either stay here, or again, you can cross so that the right foot is on the outside of the left leg. On this side, you'll be grabbing onto your right knee with your left arm and twisting around towards the right. On your next inhale, untwist through the spine, untwist through the legs. Both of your legs will come out in front of you. We're going to do a seated forward fold. For a lot of people who spend a lot of time either standing or sitting, Your hips and your hamstrings might be pretty tight here, so you can have your knees bent as much as you need to. You're going to straighten through your spine and slowly start to walk your hands out towards your feet. They might not reach all the way to your feet, and that's totally okay. Just grab on to wherever you can. Somewhere below the knees, above the ankles is totally fine. You can lower your head all the way down to your legs if you can. If not, it can stay upright. Take some deep breaths here. Exhale, you can slowly start to release and return to seated. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together in bound ankle pose. You're going to straighten through your spine here as tall as you can before you can start folding forward over your legs. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. Your legs don't have to be super close to your body. You can have them really far out if you need them really far out. This is just a great hip opener pose for those of us who are kind of in one position all day, either seated, standing, for people who just don't get to move around a lot in the day. Breath. Return to seated. We're going to move to laying on our backs. Both of our legs will be flat along the ground. We're going to try to keep your left leg into the ground as much as possible, and your right leg will come bend in towards the chest. On your next inhale, grab the outside of the right knee with your left hand, bring it across your body. You're going to try to bring the knee as close to the ground as possible while also keeping your right shoulder into the mat. Your right hand can rest palm up on the ground next to you. You can look straight up overhead or over your right shoulder. On your next inhale, untwist through the spine. Bring your right leg flat on the floor. We're going to do the left side this time, so try to keep the right leg into the mat as much as possible as you bring your left knee bent and into your chest. You're going to grab the outside of your left knee with your right hand, bring it across your body towards the floor, keeping your left shoulder into the mat. Your left hand can rest palm facing upwards along the floor next to you. It's okay if this twist is deeper or not as deep as the other side. On your next inhale, untwist through the spine. We're going to move into our final resting pose. It's called Shavasana. So in this pose, your legs will just be flat along the floor. Your arms will be flat along the floor next to your body, palms facing up or down, whatever is most comfortable. This is also called corpse pose. In this pose, we traditionally will close our eyes and just breathe at our own pace. It doesn't have to be deep breaths. It can just be a normal breath for you. In Shavasana, we're just letting our yoga practice sink in so that our muscles can start to recover from the stretching that we just did. To come out of Shavasana, you'll start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms up overhead. Roll to one side and rest here for a second. And you'll push yourself up into a seated position. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions about this yoga practice or how you can incorporate yoga either at your desk, at work, or at home, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.